is National Pet Day, so we are celebrating those four-legged friends and family members out there who might not be totally following along with our family plan.
Janice Lacinsky, the owner of the Perfect Pup in Deep River and a certified dog trainer and licensed family dog mediator, is here with some training tips. Good morning. Nice to see you.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being
I'm so
here.
excited, especially to see you again, little man.
So this is my four-legged family member, Ringo, our first child, and some of you may have met Ringo before as we brought him on multiple times in the past.
Such a good dog.
He is a really good dog. He's a Labradoodle. Come here, buddy. And, you know, he's almost 7 years old, which is crazy.
That's unbelievable.
He looks great.
And, you know, one of the things I think a lot of families struggle with is the expectations that they place upon their dog. You know, why isn't he or she doing this? I don't understand. But there is like this understanding you really need to make the connection with to connect with your dog,
Correct.
right?
Yes.
So what is your advice there?
So it's a little bit more about just obedience training. It's about making a connection with your dog, right? So doing, you know, they are dogs, right? They do have feelings, they have emotions, and we have to do whatever we can do to help meet their needs as well.
Who are you training, the dog or the human?
Basically the human.
You're training the human.
Yes, it's absolutely the human.
Well, for example, with Ringo, he, you know, acts up a little bit for mom and dad, but then when he's with the grandparents or some friends, he's way more well-behaved, kind of like kids too.
That's very interesting.
So one of the things that I really like to talk about with, you know, just in general with the dogs and why behaviors might be happening, right? And it's not all about it's always a sit and it's always a down, right? If you have a behavior that is showing up in the dog, there can be multiple reasons behind it, and we want to look into why that is possible. So we look at the model that was created by Kim Brophy, which is the legs model, which is looking at their learning, right? The environment, their genetics, and their self. So learning is about their training, their socialization, and whatever trauma they might have had in their past. So if you have a rescue dog, they could have trauma. There can be a lot of issues going on there that could affect the imbalance of their legs. Okay, their environment is their interactions every day, right? What are they interacting with out in the environment, and how do we help manage that? Because they say, well, in this situation that's happening, should I be afraid? Right? I don't know what this is. So us helping them in the environment, making the environment safe for them, then understanding what's going on in the environment will help them tremendously.
So if we don't have a handle on that and we're all over the place and nervous and anxious, we're going to essentially pass that on to their dogs.
Exactly. Right through that leash, right? So genetics is another piece that plays a big role because dogs were bred for a purpose. They no longer have a job to do.
Right, exactly.
So what we need to do is to look into the breed-specific things, and I'll give you an example of mine. I have herding dogs. I have 2 German Shepherds.
Beautiful.
And so for the herding breed,
beautiful.
Right, never mind, they have no sheep to herd, so what are they going to do? So I have a big herding ball that I throw out in the backyard that they herd around and do their job. Right, so filling that genetic piece that's missing a lot of times is very beneficial for the dogs. You have terriers who, right, their job was to go dig up and go find the rats and, you know, mice and things like that. So filling a genetic need for them as well would be like giving them a toy that they can destroy. That's their job to do. And we don't like the part that they're out there digging up the yard, right? But how do we help them? Is maybe making a specific digging area for them. It's natural for the dogs to dig. And then looking at their self, which is looking at the dog in front of us. How is the dog feeling internally? Right?
That's so hard to read. If
It's very hard to read, but you know your dog better than anybody else does. So you would see that if there's any effect, like a dog is like walking and their little gait is off a little bit, could be arthritis, it could be something like that. If a behavior just pops up out of nowhere, a lot of times it is a medical reason, and I always advise people go to the vet, do a full workup on your dog, because that could very well be what the issue is.
Yeah, my cat acting up. It was unfortunately urinating in the house. And I was like, this cat is acting out on behavioral, but it wasn't behavioral. She was actually sick.
It's sick. That's absolutely
she was sick,
correct.
which I was really upset about.
It's very interesting because you know, families may not know, like you said, that there's something else there. So Janice, what are some great, things that we can do, like any specific activities when it comes to maybe treats and keeping them engaged?
The thing that we want to do with our dogs is to really let them be a dog, right? So do fun things that our dog wants to do. It's not always about you have to sit at my side. We're going to take that, put him, right now if we did Ringo, we put Ringo on like a 20-foot lead, go out in a grassy area and say, go have a sniffari. Go sniff around
Go have a sniffari.
and have a great time. That is so enriching for the dog that you would see them coming back and saying, oh, that was so much fun. I'm relaxing now. A lot of mental stimulation going on there. Other thing that you can do is instead of giving your dog a bowl of food and saying, here's your food, take that food, toss it out in the grass and say, go find it. And let them go and forage for their food because they don't have to do that anymore.
Janice, we have to go, but really quickly, one last question. Does Ringo taste the treats that he's getting?
Yes, he does.
He does. Just want to make sure.
And how do you think he's feeling really quick as we're trying to read him?
So he's doing very well for being here in front of all of this, with all of this activity going on. He's very curious. He's not showing any signs of anxiety that I'm looking at. He's a very happy little boy, right, buddy?
Terrific.
Good. And Janice, how can people find you?
So you can find us at www.theperfectpupllc.com, as well as on, I can't remember what my Facebook thing is.
That's okay. It's all right there.
It's all there.
And you have a kids and pet camp.
I do have a kids and pet camp coming up in the summer where they come for a week and work with their dogs.
Wonderful. All right, so look up Janice in Deep River. She does amazing work. And happy National Pet Day to everyone. Say bye, Ringo.
Bye, Ringo.
Bye.
Kate, take it away.
Good job, Ringo.